Now that we've covered the question types, let's understand the rules of the Duolingo test, including environmental and equipment requirements, registration time, and dactive difficulty, and specific matters regarding test invalidation. What are the environmental requirements? First, the test environment must be quiet, private, and well lit. Quiet means no noise interference, including human and environmental noise. Human noise does not refer to the test taker's own voice during the test, but to sudden sounds like others talking or objects colliding during the exam, such as parents opening the door to deliver fruit or water, which may lead to test invalidation or even account suspension. If a sudden sound occurs from others during the test, even if you think you performed well, it's not recommended to submit the test, as this situation is very likely to result in invalidation or account suspension. Environmental noise, such as renovation sounds or pet noises, should also be avoided. If renovation work occurs, it's advisable to take the test late at night when it's quiet. If you have a pet, place it in another room to prevent its sounds from being recorded in the video during the test. What counts as private? Coach Derek recommends taking the test in the environment where only the test taker is present. Dormitories and similar environments are not ideal. If you have to take the test in a dormitory, ensure no one else is there, and ask roommates to leave temporarily to guarantee privacy. The last and very important point is good lighting, since there is video proctoring in the upper right corner during the test. Sufficient light is needed to clearly see the test taker's eyes, facial expressions, and movements. For students wearing glasses, be aware that strong light may cause glare. It's recommended to wear contact lenses to avoid this issue. Once the environment is set up, let's look at the equipment requirements. The most important document, a passport or an ID card, can be used for the test, but one person can only have one account. If you register 2 accounts using an ID card and a passport respectively, the second account will be directly suspended and you must use the first account for the test. Second, the computer's camera must be at the top center of the screen. Some computers with cameras on the keyboard may not record clearly, so it's recommended to choose a computer with a camera at the top center of the screen. Detachable 2-in-1 laptop, tablet devices cannot be used for the test. Meanwhile, ensure a stable internet connection to avoid invalidation or even inability to submit the test due to lag. Audio, video, discornerizing, etc. Third, the mobile phone. Duolingo has a dual camera requirement. 1 computer for the test and 1 smartphone for proctoring, so a smartphone is essential. How to set up the dual cameras. The computer serves as the test device, with its top-centered camera as one camera. The mobile phone is placed beside it to record the entire test-taking process as the proctoring device. After logging into the test, there will be instructions guiding the placement and operation of the mobile phone. Use the phone's built-in camera scanning function to scan the relevant QR code. If the camera scan doesn't work, you can directly access the link. After successful scanning, the link duolingo.com will appear. Additionally, note that the test takes about 1 hour, so ensure the phone is fully charged and kept charging during the test to avoid shutdown due to low battery. Some phones may shut down due to overheating after being charged and used for a long time. If the proctoring device shuts down, it may trigger invalidation. Therefore, there are 4 models of phones prone to overheating and shutdown that are not recommended. During the test, enable the phone's Do Not Disturb mode and confirm that notifications from apps are manually turned off to prevent pop-ups from causing invalidation. In the phone settings, allow Duolingo to access the camera on the desktop. Then, mobile phone placement. The phone can be placed on the left or right side of the computer, either vertically or horizontally. Duolingo recommends leaning the phone against a heavy object such as a heavy water cup to keep it stable. But in practice, it's easy to tip over. Therefore, it's recommended to use a phone stand, which can not only adjust the height but also fix the phone more stably to prevent accidental tipping. Regarding the choice of phone stand, there are review videos on major social media platforms for reference. When filming with the phone, the entire corner of the computer must be captured. Do not only film part of the screen or the keyboard. Ensure the computer screen and keyboard are fully displayed without hidden corners or blurriness. The phone stand should be at a certain height, placed at a 45-degree angle between the test taker and the computer, 1 to 2 fists above the arm or shoulder. To shoot from a downward angle, ensuring full coverage and reducing the chance of being knocked over. The phone should not be too close to the test taker to avoid accidental touches, nor too close to the desktop, or too low to prevent being blocked or not fully captured, as these situations may lead to invalidation. Third, registration and time-related information, the cost and purchase. The single test fee is $70, payable by a Google Pay, MasterCard, Visa, etc. If you feel one test is not secure, you can purchase a test package of 2 tests for $18, which is more cost-effective. After purchasing one test, you need to complete it within 21 days for 2 tests purchased at once. The first must be completed within 21 days, and the second can be completed within the next 21 days. It should be noted that you can purchase at most 3 tests every 30 days. After payment, you need to download professional software. The test does not require an appointment. You can log in and start, even at 3 a.m., once all preparations are done. But see what to prepare on the test day. The test takes about 1 hour, so prepare the environment and equipment in advance and adjust them to the best condition. What everyone is most concerned about, and what Coach Derek considers a great advantage of Duolingo, is the score release time. For the regular $70 test, scores or notification of invalidation will be released within 48 hours. You cannot know the result immediately after the test. Even if it's invalid, you have to wait 2 days. If you are in a hurry, you can pay an additional $39 to purchase the expedited package, and scores will be released within 12 hours. A $70 test includes a maximum of 2 submission invalidation opportunities and 3 non-submission invalidation opportunities. What are the 2 submission invalidation opportunities? If the first submitted test is invalid for various reasons, you get a second chance. If the second submission is also invalid, the $70 is forfeited and you need to repurchase the test. 3 non-submission invalidation opportunities. If you don't want to submit the test due to unexpected situations such as someone breaking in during the test, not submitting counts as 1 invalidation, with a total of 3 such opportunities. If you don't submit the third test, the $70 is forfeited and you need to repurchase. At the end of the video, let's talk about one of the core scoring criteria of the Duolingo test: adaptive difficulty, meaning the difficulty of the questions changes based on the test taker's performance. If you answer a question correctly, subsequent questions become more difficult. If you answer incorrectly, subsequent questions become easier. However, this only applies to objective questions. Objective questions have adaptive difficulty. If you do well in word discrimination, the subsequent word completions may be more difficult. The performance in objective questions also affects the difficulty of subjective questions. If you perform well in objective questions overall, subjective questions will be correspondingly more difficult. Therefore, test takers can roughly judge their test performance based on the difficulty of the questions encountered. If your target score is 130 but the objective questions you encounter are very simple, it may indicate poor performance in this test, and you can consider whether to submit it. It should be noted that subjective questions are affected by objective questions, but the difficulty of subjective questions does not affect each other. Even if you perform poorly in one subjective question, the difficulty of the next subjective question will not change. That's all for this video. In the next episode, Coach Derek will talk about the situations that lead to test invalidation in the Duolingo test to help you better grasp the test rhythm. See you next time.